Have you ever wondered what is earth? Have you ever wondered what is time? Have you ever wondered what is travel? Have you ever wondered what is an obelisk? Here at Midnight Maze, that is our mission, to research and share. Do your own research on earth, time, travel, and obelisks. This is our timeline, and it is up to us to find the right path. Under the Fair Use Act, under copyright 17 USC 107, for the purpose of news reporting, teaching, and parody, the following is permitted.
A new heaven and a new earth. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. I saw the holy city, the New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man, and he will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them as their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and there will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the former things have passed away. And the one seated on the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. Then he said, Write this down, for these words are faithful and true. And he told me, It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty I will give freely from the spring of the water of life. The one who overcomes will inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he will be my son. But to the cowardly and unbelieving and abominable and murderers and sexually immoral and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars, their place will be in the lake that burns with fire and sulfur. This is the second death.
As God swathes his hand over earth, the old earth will be done. Heaven on earth. We will no longer be considered out at sea, born on a vessel. We will be reborn to dry land. The new lands will be beautiful beyond my 3D imagination. I will become a 5D light being. I hold God with me, he's in my heart and has been forever. I am God and God is me. All of my tears, pain and judgment, deaths and mourning will no longer be a part of my life. Because those things are gone. I will be full of love and happiness. I said, I will make all things new. The ego, arrogant and materialistic life that I once lived is done. I am woman and man. I control the start and the end of everything in my universe. There will be nothing I can't do. I can manifest everything in my life. Those who do not believe or ascend with the earth, murderers and sexual predators, pedophiles and liars, cowards and Satanists will be left behind. They will suffer a negative and painful life. It will be very difficult to live in a 5D earth if we choose to stay in 3D. This is of choice to us, God's children.
There is about to be great changes on earth, and maybe when it says I saw it is referring to us finally seeing the truth. To the New Jerusalem coming out of heaven could be a spaceship, prepared to heal the world. The dwelling place of God is with man, meaning God is literally dwelling within man, their DNA. After much heartache and death, this will cease to a new era where death and pain goes away. He will make all things new, we will have all things, a wealth of all things. New technology, medbeds, replicators. The water of life is spiritually given to those who seek it. It is done, signifies and seals what he has decreed. He is the beginning, the end, the all-powerful, the everything. If you can overcome your humanity and come to God, you are of God. You have the fire of hell to look forward to when you die as a murderer, coward, sexual abuser. You die twice because your soul will suffer from those sins even after your death.
Our earth and heaven will be something so beautiful that we've never seen before, a faith to bring forth from heaven, and the evil and corruption will be gone, this being restored and regenerated, a spiritual fulfillment, with our God, who will provide all things to the faithful, a beautiful transition. There's a lot I'm getting from this but difficult to put into my own words and articulate well. I believe this transition is already taking place and can only be seen by the faithful, and the more faith you have the more you can see, which is why some of us can see and others haven't woken up yet.
I've already seen evidence of how the end times is happening and that it is not what the preachers had said it would be like. I see that it looks like we are getting through the 7-year tribulation as it seems to me. Those who overcome will inherit all things, verses 7. Those who persevered in trusting God, kept the faith and did not give in to the god of this world, those are the ones who will see the new earth and the new heaven and will live in God's light. I don't know how the new earth and new heaven will be seen. Will the sky open up and we will experience literally being lifted, while we see the old earth fade away? John, who is writing this down, is the one who heard the loud voice coming down from heaven. Doesn't mean we will hear it audibly, but I think it was to be wrote down that it is God's declaring what he's doing. John sees in the Spirit, the one who sits on the throne and speaks with a loud voice, "Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man and he will dwell with them." And so on. John records what he hears in the Spirit, God's messages, continuing with, "He will wipe away every tear from their eyes." Could this have also translated to, "The tears from Christ's eyes will be no more"? Just my personal thoughts on that. The rest about the evildoers, they are judged for being against all things of God and would not turn from evil, so the lake of fire could be symbolic or literal idk. Somehow all is unfolding right before us, that the one who sits on the throne is indeed making all things new. God is Spirit and His presence is here with us. Some will see this newness sooner than others, I suppose. I have seen things a little differently the past 2 years as I'm on this journey of the end times for them, and a new beginning for me and all who are dwelling with God in faith in Him and His Word. I got a revelation I'd like to add. Christ or Yahweh, or Yeshua, said, "Behold, the kingdom of heaven is nigh unto thee." Fancy way of saying, "Behold, the kingdom of heaven is at hand." A lady posted tonight, that her 10-years-old grandson dreamed that we were living in heaven, that if the sleeping people would wake up they could see it. Not exact word for word but meaning the same. Got me thinking, if in Revelation chapter 21 verse 1 he saw a new heaven and a new earth, because the first heaven and earth passed away, also, translated, faded away, then when we truly wake up, we will see the heaven, that is to be made visible when the veil is lifted. When we are covered in glory, like when His Spirit will fall over all the peoples of the world, over all flesh as prophesied. Our eyes will be open and we will walk into the gate with thanksgiving and live in His presence, being fully known, and we will know fully and our questions will be answered.
Heaven and earth, as we know it, will cease to exist. The lack of sea is a reminder that God said He would never use water against us again. Flood, Noah. The New Jerusalem is a gift, pure and perfect as a bride should be, on her wedding day, to the faithful. From the very beginning, this new world is how God intended our existence to be. God is with man, dwell, live in. God is a part of man, man is a part of God. Or, a slight regular pause in the motion of a machine, man should stop regularly and frequently pause and ponder, praise God for His goodness. We will experience this in fifth dimension. Crying will not be an emotion we will experience because we will have transcended to the next level of understanding of our state of being. We will not be human beings, but rather life beings. Life is joy, peace and love. God is everything good. For those who seek God will find God. Those able to separate the good from the evil will be given all. Share in God's goodness. Those who deny goodness. First death is choosing self over God. Free will used wrong. Second death is choosing self over God after being shown, physically, spiritually, and then denying God again. There is no redemption from the second death because this is no water in this New Jerusalem to put out the fires that burn.